everyone out there in tax land, Dan, the tax man here. Listen, taxes don't have to be hard. Here we take complex tax subjects and we make them simple because we want the average person to understand it, we want the average person to benefit, and we want the average person to save money. And today we're going to be talking about the tax consequences of buying and selling stock. Now, the stock market has received some intense media coverage over the past few weeks as we've seen this kind of David versus Goliath battle between these amateur investors banding together and taking on some big Wall Street hedge funds, with the amateur investors scoring a huge win by successfully running up the price of some stocks like Gamestop, AMC, causing huge gains for the amateur investors and massive losses, sometimes in the billions, for these big Wall Street hedge funds. So it is a great time to make sure that everyone out there in tax land knows all of the tax consequences of buying and selling stock. And for all you amateur investors out there, I've got some really good news. Have you ever wanted to know what it feels like to be really rich and get all sorts of tax breaks that you don't really need and don't really deserve? Well, the tax treatment of buying and selling stock is so good that it's probably as close as we're ever going to get to that feeling. So let's put our pinkies up and let's get right to it. Now, the absolute best part about buying and selling stock from a tax perspective is that you do not owe any money until you sell that stock. You can control when you pay the tax on your gains because you control when you sell that stock. Normally, if you earn money, you owe tax right away. The money that I'm earning today at my job, I technically have to pay in today because it's a pay-as-you-go system. Either you pay by withholdings from your paycheck or you pay by estimated tax payments. But stocks aren't like that. If you buy $1,000 worth of stock today and it's worth $10,000 tomorrow, you're a much richer person, but you owe zero until you actually sell that stock. And that ability to plan, to decide when you want to pay tax on that gain, by far the best part from a tax perspective about buying and selling stock. Next, when you finally do sell, you only pay tax on the gain. You get to subtract out your purchase price or basis before applying your tax rate. So if I buy stock for $9,000 and then I sell it for $10,000, I've got $10,000 in my pocket now, but I'm only paying tax on the difference, or $1,000. And that is real nice. And lastly, if you're selling stock at a gain, you might be entitled to some massively discounted income tax rates. As long as you've held that stock for at least a year and a day, and therefore qualify for long-term capital gains treatments, you pay, our best friend, 0% on your first $40,000 worth of gain. If it's over 40 but below 441,000, the rate just jumps to 15%. If it's over that, it's 20%. But even at 20%, the rate that you're paying on your gains from stock sales is going to be far lower for most middle-class Americans than the rates that they're paying on their ordinary income. So when you buy and sell stock, you are getting a ton of tax benefits, including paying only when you sell, being able to subtract out your purchase price, and those sweet, sweet lower tax rates. It's good enough to make you feel like you are getting that first-class rich person treatment. Now, if you have questions about the tax implications of stock sales, if you sold some stock and want to make sure that your tax return is done correctly, or if you owe from selling stock in the past and want to make sure everything's done correctly or want to set up a resolution with the IRS, give us a call. Dial 1-800-424-8332. And if you're a Spanish speaker, try our dedicated Spanish line at 888-523-6606. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, go ahead and give it a subscribe, then we can keep you up to date on all the latest tax news and information. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dan, the tax man, tax professional with Community Tax, and I will see you next time.